the 2-minute warning of the Thursday Night Football game. I thought, what a better time to get started. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this Thursday night edition of Believers Talk, where we are live to give you a preview of this Sunday's game between our Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Again, guys, we are live every single Thursday to preview the game coming up during the season. So if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, guys, hit that subscribe button as we keep you up to date on all Buffalo Bills news. We preview the game live right here on Thursday. We do our post game on the Monday after the game, normally around halftime of Monday Night Football. So you want to make sure you hit that subscribe button. After you hit that subscribe button, guys, make sure you hit that notification bell. Guys, like this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about our Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Now, I know a lot of us, including myself, think that there's no reason, there's no excuse for the Buffalo Bills to lose this game. So we're going to talk about some of the keys to victory, right? I mean, obviously there has to be keys to victory, basically just showing up for a lot of us. That's one of our keys to victory. But we're going to talk about a little more in depth. We're going to go through some of the stats for both teams. Obviously, Buffalo Bills a little bit better in pretty much every statistical category than the Miami Dolphins. Buffalo Bills currently 4-1, coming off of their bye week at home. We have 3 straight home games now, and the first one against the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins 0-5, coming off a 1-point loss. Well, they went for a 2-point conversion against the Washington Redskins. So that is what's going on right now, guys. Again, thank you for watching on Believers Talk. If you're just tuning in, just getting started here, like I said, 2-minute warning of the Thursday Night Football game. So I thought, good time to get on here, get us warmed up, get us ready to go to talk about the game Sunday against the Miami Dolphins. And like I said, as people will join, I will keep us up to date on what's going on, and I want to get into it after we get some people in here. Right now, I'm just going over to YouTube and over to Twitter, and just letting people know that we are live right now talking about the game between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. So again, guys, thank you for joining me on this channel. If you're new, like I said, hit that subscribe button. If you've been in for a while, go ahead, hit that thumbs up button, give me a like, let me know what you think. Awesome, as my phone keeps acting up. So again, I appreciate you guys joining me for this edition of Believers Talk as we preview the game between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills, a game that we will have for you live play-by-play and reaction right here on Believers Talk this Sunday. So you want to make sure to join us either right here on Believers Talk on YouTube, or also you can head over to sportscaster.com/#sports. Link in the description below. We always have a good time, guys, so I hope you guys join me this Sunday as we do live play-by-play reaction to the game between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. And guys, I'm going to be honest right now, the only way I see the Buffalo Bills losing this game is if we give the game to the Miami Dolphins. Now, I know that, I know that we have to play a full 60-minute game. I know that, the NFL, nothing's a given. You talk about those cliches that Coach McDermott will use. Even Coach McDermott was trying to find positive things to say about the Miami Dolphins. He said things like, oh, they don't kill themselves with penalties, or they don't beat themselves with penalties. Things like that, because he's just trying to find good things to say about this Miami Dolphins team. It's tough to do. As I type this on Twitter, and again, you guys know I can't type this on Twitter, so share this on Twitter. I'm sharing it on Twitter right now to let people know that we are live. Go Bills. Hashtag squish the fish. Hashtag Bills Mafia. Again, guys, Believers Talk teaming up with hashtag sports to give you the best play-by-play and reaction coverage to every single Buffalo Bills game this season. So make sure that you subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already subscribed to hashtag sports, head over there as well and subscribe to them. Mara and Paul, great guys over there. And then, guys, I will be at the game the Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles the following Sunday. So you want to make sure that if you're gonna be at the game, hit me up. Love to hang out with some of you fans, and also we'll be doing some things while we're there. Hashtag Sports Believers Talk. We'll get together at some point and just gonna have a good time. So make sure that you're up to date on everything going on at Believers Talk and at Hashtag Sports, and we'll keep you updated on what we are doing. So again, thank you for joining me. Halftime just around the corner. I think there's about 30 seconds left as Denver just got the ball back, trailing 20-6 in this one. Yeah, again, I normally don't watch the Thursday night football games. I find the Thursday night football games to be boring most of the time, so I just don't watch them. And so while the game's going on, I thought what better way to hang out with you guys, talk to other Bills fans about what's going on. About what's going on with our Buffalo Bills. Again, we're coming off a bye week, which is great. It means we're going to be healthier, right? We talked about this team going into the bye week, how they just needed to get healthier, and we did for the most part. Again, a few injuries that we're not sure about. Cody Ford still in concussion protocol. Matt Milano still dealing with that hamstring injury. We know how these soft tissue injuries can linger, so we don't want to make light of that. However, for the most part, you're talking about Ty Nsekhe, you're talking about Mitch Morse, you're talking about some of these key players, Devin Singletary, of course. Hey, David, how you doing? Welcome to Believers Talk. Must pay in full. The bill collectors. Hey, the Bills are hopefully going to stand their ground on the home turf. So far, we're undefeated on the road. We do have that one loss at home to the New England Patriots. So hopefully we can hold our ground in New England, protect our dirt, as Coach McDermott would like to say, this Sunday against the Miami Dolphins. And guys, again, let's talk about the keys to victory here, okay? It's no secret that this Dolphins team is a wreck. It's no secret that this Dolphins team is tanking for the first overall pick in the NFL draft. Again, trading some of their key talent during this offseason. We're talking about Minkah Fitzpatrick. We're talking about Ryan Tunsil. We're talking about some of the key names for the Miami Dolphins just traded away for first-round draft picks. They're hoarding all these picks in hopes that they hit the draft correctly. And there's no guarantees in the NFL draft, as we all know. There's no guarantees there. I look at a guy like a Tunsil, and that could be a building block that you could have used. So some of the moves Miami has made during this offseason haven't made sense to me, but you know what? They don't have to make sense to me. They just have to make sense to the GM and the owner of the Miami Dolphins and the head coach if he sticks around for the Miami Dolphins. But getting into this game, one of my first keys to victory, one of my biggest keys would be the running attack for the Buffalo Bills. Again, something the Bills are going to want to do is control time of possession. In order to do that, you have to be able to run the ball. Right now, we have Frank Gore averaging over 6 yards a carry. Right now, the Miami Dolphins are the second worst in the league at yards allowed per game running. So that's really something we should take advantage of. We should really take advantage of their lack of a run defense. And also on the other side, lack of a run game. They're also 31st in rushing yards gained so far this season. Now, if you look at Kenyon Drake has had a good career so far against the Buffalo Bills. In 6 games against the Buffalo Bills, Kenyon Drake has 90-plus scrimmage yards, okay? So that's something that we have to account for. We have to account for Kenyon Drake in this game. I know a lot of us forced to run early, then email out when they think we're letting up. That's David again. Thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. Again, guys, leave a comment over in the chat area. Happy to answer any questions. But yeah, David, maybe air it out a little bit. But again, if we see 8, 9 in the box, that's when we start airing it out. But what I don't want to see is some forced passes by Josh Allen, because the only way the Dolphins have a chance in this game is if the Buffalo Bills give it to them. And what do I mean by that? I mean turnovers, obviously. And even then, how much do they have a chance really in this game? I mean, look at the Jets game where we basically had a +4 turnover differential against us, right? And I know we got that fumble at the end, which made it a +3 instead of a +4, but that was the last play of the game. So basically the whole game, we're playing with a +4 turnover differential, and we still win that game 16-10. Josh Allen turns the ball over 4 times in the first half. We can argue if they were his fault or not. And then after that, he settles down and he's able to get the comeback, and we win 17-16. So even if we have 4 turnovers in this game, if our defense plays the way they can, I don't know if that's even going to be enough to beat this Buffalo Bills team. So we have that we can rely on, knowing that this defense is going to be a shutdown defense most of the time, and not give up too much to the Miami Dolphins. We're talking about a team that's third right now in passing yards, a team that's seventh in rushing yards allowed, fourth in points allowed. We average giving up 14 points a game. That's the fourth least in the NFL. We're doing a really good job on defense. Obviously, everyone loves our defense. It's that offense that we need to get going. We need to see a full game, a full 60 minutes from this offense, and that goes to play calling, that goes to running the ball, that goes to passing the ball, that goes to not making any mistakes, Josh Allen. That goes to just keeping the ball in your back pocket, maybe even taking a sack or two if you have to. Don't give the Dolphins extra possessions, and also don't give the Dolphins the idea that they can win this game. Listen, we can all think that the Miami Dolphins are tanking, but if you ask me about tanking, tanking is something that's done at the GM level, not even the head coach level, the GM and owner level. Those are the two guys that I believe are tanking. These players, this is their resume, okay? What they put on the tape on Sunday, this is their resume, whether it be for the Miami Dolphins, the resurgent Miami Dolphins, when they come back and they have all the draft picks and they think they're ready to go. Why will they keep you? Why won't they draft to replace you? You have to show them that on Sunday. Or if you're going to another team, this is what you show them on tape, saying, hey, I've played in the NFL, I've played for a team like Miami, and I still played hard every single down. So I don't think that tanking is something that players do. So the last thing the Bills want to do is give the Miami Dolphins the impression that they can win this game. So what does that mean? Some people think that means I'm saying jump on them early and try to get a big lead. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you can jump on them early if they give you that opportunity, but there's nothing wrong with a slow, methodical, 8-play, 7-minute drive that just takes up a lot of the clock that ends in a touchdown just off the game. There's nothing wrong with that. Leave the defense on the field, get them tired early, so that way you can have your way with them for the rest of the game. Have a big drive to start off the game, score 7. I think that would be a key, because I want to see a score on that first drive. And I want us to hold the Dolphins out of the end zone for at least the first quarter, if not the whole first half. There's no reason to think that this Miami Dolphins team should be able to score any points on us. I mean, they're 32nd in total yards. I'm sorry, that's defense. They're 31st in total yards in offense. As far as points, they're averaging 8.4 points a game. That's 32nd in the NFL, and it's not even close. So they're averaging less than 10 points a game. We're giving up 14 points a game. I mean, that tells you what this defense can do and shut down this offense like all the other defenses have done so far. I was watching Blindsided Sports when he did his preview video, and one thing that he said, you look at this team from week 17. This Buffalo Bills team killed the Miami Dolphins, and this Bills team has only gotten better. You look at the wide receiving core, you look at the tight ends, you look at the running backs, but you look at this Miami Dolphins team, and they've gotten exponentially worse in that time. So you take that into consideration. You take the score from that game, 41-17, I believe it was, into consideration, and this might be a whooping for the Buffalo Bills. It should be, and that's what we're hoping to see this Sunday against the Miami Dolphins. And again, guys, we will be live streaming that game right here on Believers Talk. So if you're not sure where you're going to watch the game, watch it here on Believers Talk, or again, go over to sportscast.com/sports. They'll have it for you over there as well. So again, one of my keys to victory, first, running the ball, right? Again, Frank Gore averaging more than 6 yards per carry. This Miami Dolphins defense, 31st worst in the league at run defense. So we need to be able to continue to run the ball at a good clip. Not only that, you also have to consider the fact that we got Devin Singletary back. So, I don't expect to see Singletary get a lot of carries in this game. Again, still coming back from a hamstring injury, but at the same time, you want to get him acclimated to the game again. So you'll see him come in at certain times, add that spark, be that firecracker. And we still got TJ Yeldon back there, right? I know TJ Yeldon most times used only in the passing game, but you can definitely throw the Miami Dolphins a curveball and run Yeldon at them. So we'll see what happens with that. And we also did pick up Sonoris Perry. Again, I brought this up in a previous video, and it might be true, it might not be. Andre Roberts really hasn't done much in the special teams game so far. We know he was hurt, the first 2 games. So what what if they brought in Snorris Perry to challenge Andre Roberts in the special teams game? We know that they're both special teams guys, right? That's why we picked them both up in the offseason. And so what if we're watching Andre Roberts and we're not liking what we see? And by we, I mean the coaching staff with the Buffalo Bills, not liking what we see, and we're like, hey, we got this guy, Snorris Perry. He was brought to this team for a reason. Let's give him a shot. So maybe Snorris Perry wasn't brought simply for the running game. Maybe he was brought for the special teams game as well, and to see what he can offer in that regard. I don't know. That's just something to think about. That's just another way to think about it. When you think about Snorris Perry, because Snorris Perry, he's not a terrible running back, but he's not used at running back all that much. So maybe Danny Crossman, the special teams guy for the Buffalo Bills, he has something up his sleeve for the special teams coordinator, or for the special teams play. That's the Miami Dolphins guy. Give me a second. Give me Buffalo Bills last year's coordinator, who is now a Miami Dolphin. How about that? And then we got a new special teams guy. Where is he at? You guys will probably tell me in the comment section before I pull it up. I'm looking. I know we got a new one. They're not showing me on the coaching. So even on the Buffalo Bills webpage, it doesn't even have it. So that's smart. That's great. So let me know who's special. Oh, Heath Farrell, of course. Yeah, Heath Farrell, special teams coordinator. So, maybe that's why. Epic War comes in. Can't wait to see more Singletary and Duke Williams. That's another great point. We got Duke Williams. He came in off the Tennessee game, had a good game, 4 catches and the game-winning touchdown. Comes into the bye week, and then him and Josh Allen can work together more, get more acclimated with what they're both looking for in that offense. And now we have a pretty weak defense to see what they can do. So I would look to see if Duke Williams has a big game in this one. Try to get him acclimated to the offense. Expect to see more passes to John Brown, Cole Beasley, just to, again, open things up, especially in the early going. I think if Miami is that bad against the run, which their statistics say they are, maybe they'll load the box a little bit so we can't run against them, as we currently have the 6th best rushing offense in the NFL, averaging almost 140 yards a game. So maybe they're going to make us try to beat them with the passing game, and that's where Josh Allen has to be patient. And that brings me to my second key to victory. What does Snorris Perry do on special teams? He's a return guy. So you might see him back there doing punt returns instead of Andre Roberts, just to change things up and see what he can provide, what kind of spark he can provide. Now, you're talking about Frank Gore and Snorris Perry, both Miami Dolphins running backs last season. You throw that into the mix, maybe there's something to do with that there. But I just don't see that, because I think this Miami Dolphins team is not good enough to warrant us bringing a player onto the 53-man roster just to get some kind of inside information. We don't need it in this situation. Again, we're talking about a winless team, 0-5, the Miami Dolphins. Now, listen, I'm sure the Miami Dolphins would love to come into Buffalo and stop the hype, stop the noise surrounding this Buffalo Bills team, who's currently 4-1. Because let me remind you, something Bills fans don't want to be reminded of. The last 2 times this Buffalo Bills team has started 4-1, we've ended the season with losing records. So we're not out of the woods yet. I always say after win, the only thing we've guaranteed ourselves is a record with the win. Like right now, we've only guaranteed ourselves a 4-12 record. We could go 0-11. It would be stupid and crazy and just bad. But we could go 0-11 the rest of the season. All of a sudden, we finished 4-12. What did that 4-1 start do for us? We start 4-1. That's a great start. Just like the Sabres starting 5-0-1. Great start. But now it's, what do you do with it? Now that there is some buzz around Buffalo, what do you do with that? So my second key to victory, also I like the growth of Josh Allen so far. He needs to remember punting is not a bad thing. He needs to throw the ball away or take the sack. Can't throw dumb interceptions anymore. You're absolutely right. That's Allen's biggest knock, is his turnovers, not just the interceptions, but the fumbles as well. Again, when you're at a school like Wyoming, you feel like you can make every throw. With his arm, he feels like he can make every single throw. And right, he feels like on the 3rd down, taking a sack is worse than trying to get a first down and then forcing an interception. When really, take the sack, punt the ball away. It's not a terrible thing, especially when you have a top 5 defense in the NFL, a defense that you know is going to bail you out. Again, look back to that New York, New Jersey Jets game week 1. 4 turnovers in that first half. And we still were able to pull out that win 17-16. So you know this defense can hold their own. So there's nothing wrong with getting the sack and punting the ball away. So like I said, brings me to my second key to victory, which is Josh Allen showing patience. Don't get over aggressive, right? You know that this is a bad Dolphins team. If you don't get ahead of them by a lot of points early, don't feel like you're behind the 8 ball. Don't feel like you have to do something to catch up, right? If you are up 6-9-0 early on, just remember you're still up. And you don't have to necessarily score touchdowns to be this team. We want to see touchdowns. We should see touchdowns on that field, but we don't necessarily need to score touchdowns. Again, this team's averaging less than 10 points a game. Give me 4 field goals. We should have this game in the bag. Steven Hauschka can make some field goals. Again, I'll give him that Hausch Money nickname back when he shows me that he still has it. He's missed 2 field goals already this season. That 62-yarder, I'm not blaming him for it all. But then there was a 47-yarder that I missed in there as well. So would love to see him improve on the season. But we haven't had to use him all that much either is the thing. So you don't know what you're getting out of Steven Hauschka quite yet. So my second key to victory is for Josh Allen to stay patient and just let the game come to him. Stick with the game plan. There shouldn't be too many times where you're under serious pressure. And what I mean necessarily by serious pressure is not just getting sacked, but also against the clock, right? You shouldn't have a play clock winding down. The play should get in there pretty quickly. And this should be a pretty easy game. This should just be an easy game. We're currently 17-point favorites. We should cover that by 20, okay? We should cover that by 20. I don't think this game should be close. If it is close, it was funny. I was thinking about this game, and I'm thinking about how I'm doing the play-by-play reaction to this game on Sunday. And, I might freak out more in this game in a win if we do win, which we, again, should. If the Bills don't play up to their standards, then I would in a game against the Eagles the following week where it could go either way and we might lose that game, right? I would love to see the Buffalo Bills play to the best of their ability in this game, never have it in doubt, never have it in question, and just come away with the win. But if the Bills start making stupid mistakes, I don't care if they're winning by a lot, I don't care if it's a close game, if they start making stupid mistakes, I'm talking about dead ball penalties, I'm talking about turnovers, I'm talking about too many men on the field, I'm talking about, which would be a dead ball penalty, but I'm talking about things like that that just annoy me to the core. If you get a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct for sticking up for your quarterback, you know what, I can live with that. If you get a penalty for pass interference when you're beat, I can live with that. We'll talk about why you got beat, but I can live with that. I can't deal with these false starts. We have so many we lead the league in false start penalties this season. That's unacceptable. And it's not like we lead the league with like 3. No, I think we have over 10 right now false start penalties, and it's just unacceptable. You should know the snap count. You should be able to look in and see the ball, right? If you're an offensive lineman, there's no reason for you to have a false start because the ball's right there. The ball's right at your feet. And maybe that's because of the lack of camaraderie on the offensive line, lack of cohesiveness on the offensive line due to the fact that we've had to swap players in and out. I can kind of understand that, but you should still know the snap count. You should still know the play sequence. These things shouldn't be something foreign or new to you. The playbook's the same whether you're on the first string, second string, or third string. So that's all I'm going to say. Don't get dead ball penalties. Don't get stupid turnovers. And just make the Dolphins have to beat you. Because what we've learned from the Dolphins so far this season is if you make them have to beat you, they're not going to. That's why they're 0-5. It's a mentally talking back about Allen's interception, spin rights. It's a mental thing. It's a mentality that he needs to break. He had this mentality because it's the mentality he needed for his entire career until he became a Bill. It's something that will take time. When you're used to something throughout your whole, again, Josh Allen has had to fight for everything that he's gotten. And again, he's in the NFL, so I'm not gonna play a violin for him or anything like that. But you have to remember, he only got one Division A scholarship, so he felt like he had to impress the people at Wyoming. And we talked about Josh Allen. We talked about how he had 21 interceptions at Wyoming, not exactly glowing on the interception ratio. He threw, 57% in college. That was one of his biggest knocks coming out in the NFL draft, is his low completion percentage in college and how he can improve on that. Well, that was his knock his rookie season, and all we've seen so far this season is him have 4 games where he's thrown over 60%. Last game, he threw over 70%. So he's obviously getting better at the percentage. Again, that mentality that Spin talks about, yes, that needs to change. But that is, like he says, going to take time. You can't be have this mentality your whole life and then all of a sudden switch it off just like that. It doesn't work that way. For some players, it takes some time. And in my Josh Allen video, I took a look at some former quarterbacks, one of which was Alex Smith. Alex Smith took some time to get acclimated with the offense. Now, again, that could have a lot to do with him having 4 different offensive coordinators in his first 5 seasons in the NFL, but it still took him a lot of time. The passing statistics are very similar between him and Josh Allen, so we'll see what happens. But then you talk about my third key to victory, and my third key to victory is get to Ryan Fitzpatrick. The Miami Dolphins offensive line has allowed, I think it's the 3rd most sacks or maybe 4th most sacks in the NFL. So there's no reason to think that we cannot get to Ryan Fitzpatrick. We've played a lot of quarterbacks so far that have quick releases, right? Quick release, or at least they know how to have a quick release. We're obviously talking about Tom Brady, Eli Manning, Carson Palmer. They have set the stage when they know when they're playing the Buffalo Bills, they have to get the ball out quickly, right? Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick is not known as a quarterback who gets the ball out quickly. He stands there like a statue, so he's not going to be much of a mobile threat anymore at his age, and he takes his time to try read a defense. And this Buffalo Bills defense is too good for that. That's why, when quarterbacks are playing against Buffalo Bills, the average time between the snap and pass actually goes down because they know that this Buffalo Bills defense is going to get to you. They're going to send exotic blitzes. They're going to do things that you're not used to seeing. They're going to do things that you might not see too often on film yet. That's the benefit of having a Coach McDermott defensive-minded guy and a Coach Leslie Frazier, another defensive-minded guy who used to be a head coach, on your roster, on your coaching staff. That means they can mix things up. They've seen things, because they've been in the league for years, that you might not be used to seeing, and they can definitely mix it up, throw some things at you that you're not used to. Even someone as much of a vet as Ryan Fitzpatrick is, you still might see some things that he's not used to seeing. And we've seen this Miami offense struggle. We've seen them make stupid turnovers, make bad turnovers in every single game so far this season. I want to see that again. I want to see us get to Ryan Fitzpatrick. I want to see us, and again, even if we don't sack him, get a few QB hits, make him make bad decisions, which would lead to 3 and outs, lead to some turnovers, things like that. Another thing that's great about this defense is the pass deflections, guys. We lead the league in pass deflection so far this season, and it's from every level, right? It's not just the corners and the safeties. We've seen the linebackers getting their hands up. We've seen the defensive end and defensive tackles getting their hands up. Everybody's getting their hands up, getting to the ball, getting their hands on the ball when they can, and that's very important. With that, however, and this is something else I wanted to discuss, going back to how Miami can win this game, you don't want to be over aggressive on defense. You don't want to over pursue the ball. You don't want to take chances that you normally wouldn't take, right? If it's a quick out route and you get a tackle after a 5-yard gain, don't try to cut the route and get the interception unless you're sure you can do it. If you normally would tackle the guy after 5 yards, tackle him after 5 yards. Because if you miss that interception and you don't have safety help, all of a sudden it turns into a big gain instead of a 5-yarder, and that's something we don't need. Again, the last thing you want to do in this game is give the Miami Dolphins any type of momentum. Again, the only way the Dolphins are going to lose this game is if the Buffalo Bills give it to them, right? The Buffalo Bills have to make enough mistakes to basically give this game to the Miami Dolphins, and I just don't want to see us do that. Again, I talked about the Jets earlier. The Jets game, we had 4 turnovers, still were able to beat them. We've seen Allen make some bad turnovers, and yet here we are still 4-1. So I'm not talking about a 1 turnover differential. I'm talking about 3, 4, maybe even 5 turnovers that the Buffalo Bills will have to give up for the Miami Dolphins to have a chance in this game. So getting back to another comment, I want to beat him so bad they go back to Josh Rosen. See, and that's something else I don't understand with Bills fans. And there's some Bills fans in the chat again, guys. Welcome to Believers Talk. Thank you for joining me for this preview of the Miami Dolphins Buffalo Bills game. A lot of fans out there are talking about cheering Ryan Fitzpatrick when he comes out on the field. And can I ask why? Because I just said the stat about how the last 2 times the Buffalo Bills started 4-1, we finished with losing records both seasons. One of those seasons was with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Why are we thanking Ryan Fitzpatrick for a 7-9 season? Why are we thanking Ryan Fitzpatrick for starting 4-1? I think he started 5-2, signing a contract and then forgetting everything he knew about football and just giving this team no chance to win. Again, we started 5-2 with him at the quarterback helm. We finished 7-9. Now I know it can't all be put on him, but why are we cheering for? Because it's Fitz magic. Oh, it's magic. Not Sunday. Sunday, the magic runs out. And you know what? He hasn't had any magic in Miami. But even magicians run out of juice every once in a while. Even magicians can't get it done once in a while. But I just don't. I saw that on Twitter. Again, guys, follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. Link in the description below. Keep you up to date not only on the Buffalo Bills, but all Buffalo sports. Sabres with their first loss yesterday against the Anaheim Ducks. Anaheim Ducks just outplayed us, okay? If you stayed up late to watch the game like I did, the Anaheim Ducks were just more aggressive, more physical, faster to the puck. Now, it led to some fights. It led to some stupid Anaheim Ducks penalties. But unlike what we've been able to do so far this season, the Buffalo Sabres unable to capitalize on the power play, and that led to a 4-2 or 5-2 defeat, I think, at the end of the Anaheim Ducks. Play the Kings tonight at 10:30. So that game's getting ready to come up, but I don't think I'm going to stay up for that one, guys. Won't be on here for too much longer. I'm pretty sure the second half of the game has already started. It has, as it's 26 Chiefs over the Broncos, and normally also Hashtag Sports likes to get on here pretty late on a Thursday as well to give you their preview of the game. So I'll make sure that they have their time as well. If you hang out with them, let them know Believers Talk says how you doing. And obviously, again, Mario and Paul, great guys. If you haven't already subscribed to Believers Talk, you want to make sure, or to Hashtag Sports or Believers Talk, you want to make sure that you do hit that subscribe button for both channels as we keep you up to date on all the play-by-play and reaction to every single Buffalo Bills game. Another thing, Believers Talk teaming up with BewareTheStampede.com. Guys, if you haven't gone over to BewareTheStampede.com, you are missing out. It's your one-stop shop if you're a Buffalo Bills fan. You're talking about Buffalo Bills Hall of Famers. It gives you every single Buffalo Bill in the Hall of Fame, gives you their credentials, and tells you a little bit about them. You talk about stadium information, right? Everyone's talking about how the Buffalo Bills need a new stadium. It tells you when the stadium was built, capacity, how they built it, things like that. It's really cool, really informative. And then we got some writings on there as well. People writing for us, both fantasy news and writing about the Buffalo Bills. And coming soon, we're going to have a blog on there as well. So all your Buffalo Bills information at one shop, or one website, you want to go to BewareTheStampede.com and get hooked up that way. You also find me over there as well. So, I have to pitch it a little bit. But again, guys, thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, guys, subscribe, as this Sunday, we will be giving you the live play-by-play reaction to the Miami Dolphins game. Should have a good time. Just come hang out, talk with fellow Buffalo Bills fans about the Miami Buffalo Bills game. Again, this is a game that really shouldn't be in question from start to finish. So if you can join me. And then the following week, of course, I will be in Buffalo hanging out with you guys as we watch our Buffalo Bills hopefully beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Should be a good game. What happened to Mahomes? Mahomes just got a knee injury. I just heard about that myself. There are some people saying they hope it's not ACL. I hope for the NFL's sake it's not ACL. But man, it would really change the landscape of the NHL or the NFL if Mahomes tore his ACL and he's out for the season. Definitely will add some intrigue to that division as Oakland looks better than anticipated. Denver looks better than anticipated, losing some close games in Denver. Let's see if they can come pull this one out. If Mahomes is seriously hurt, we'll see. But again, guys, we're talking about the Buffalo Bills Miami Dolphins game. I want to get you back to that game. I guess we went to get an X-ray and then immediately was ruled out. Wow, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. You think it's an ACL? I think It's because he came back against the Pats. Yes, okay, so talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick, yeah, he did have that comeback against the Patriots that year. I remember 2 games Fitz had that were good, and that's opening day at KC. Bills win 4-1-7. I was there. I loved it. And the Pats game where he won 34-31. And that's exactly like it's not like he led us to the playoffs. He led us to the Super Bowl. He hasn't done anything for the Buffalo Bills. In fact, like I said, he started off great that season. He started off great, 5-2, and then we finished 7-9. He tails off. So we know what Fitzpatrick can do. We know what he can do. We know what he's capable of. But we just need to stop that in this game, okay? Again, we need to stop Kenyon Drake. Again, in 6 career games against the Buffalo Bills, Kenyon Drake. Hey, Myth, how you doing? Just got off work. Glad you could join me. Fitz made it entertaining, and that's something Fitz would always do for Buffalo. But entertaining and wins are 2 different things. I'd rather get boring wins than entertaining losses. That's just me. I know we like being entertained. We like being amused. Am I a clown? Do I amuse you? Am I here for your amusement? No, you're here for wins. You're in the NFL for wins. I'd rather boring wins than amusing losses. So give me the wins. And you know what? That's what Josh Allen's doing right now. That's what, whether you like him or hate him, we're 4-1 with Josh Allen at the helm. Now you might say we're 4-1 despite Josh Allen, but we were also 9-7. Some of you would say we were also 9-7 despite Tyrod Taylor. Still made it to the playoffs. I think not only can Josh Allen lead us to playoffs, he can lead us to that next level. And again, we talked about early in the stream, we have seen improvement from Josh Allen. Is it going to be enough in the long run to consider him the future for the Buffalo Bills long term? I don't know yet. Nobody knows that yet. But the good news is we have at least 2 more years with him under the helm, right? He signed a 4-year contract as a rookie, unless we trade him like they're doing Josh Rosen. But I don't think that's going to happen. He signed that 4-year, possibly 5-year contract, being that first-round draft pick. And we have time to figure that out. But for right now, we see the improvement, and we see that in the completion percentage. We have seen him throw the ball away a few times this season, and it's already more than last season. And we've seen him even slide a couple times when it comes to him running the ball. So we'll see if that continues to happen, if that improvement continues to happen. We haven't seen him try to hurdle anybody yet this year, so that's good as well. At my school has the Dolphins. Everyone at your school has the Dolphins winning, and I have to give them the stats. Had to cover up receptions. Hey, if they don't know what they're talking about, that's on them, right? Allen has the X factor that he can be clutch. He can be clutch, and as Jeremy from Broiler Stampede brought up in his most recent visit with Blitz, I forget the whole name of the podcast, but anyhow, he was on a podcast with them, and as he brought up, he has that it factor, right? You see the other players for the Buffalo Bills, and you see they're willing to go the extra mile for Josh Allen, right? You see Josh Allen chasing Duke Williams after his first touchdown in the tunnel, just saying, hey man, I love you, right? It's those little things that mean something to the players, and it's those little things that make him that leader that you want for this team. Now, you can have all the leadership skills in the world, and that might not mean anything when it comes down to the field play, right? But there has to be a combination of the two, and Josh Allen might have that. He might have something special, and we might see that more and more as this season progresses, and then also into the future seasons as well. Again, going into this season, I had us going 11-5, but I also said my prediction for this season was for us to be contenders. I have expectations next season. I didn't have expectations of this team other than to finish above 500. That was my expectation of this team, finish above 500. If you finish 9-7, miss the playoffs, at this point, I'd be disappointed. Don't get me wrong. But at the beginning of the season, if you finish 9-7 and didn't make the playoffs, I'd be disappointed when we're not in the playoffs again, of course, just like any other fan would be. But at the same time, it was not expected. Next year, I have expectations for this team. I have expectations of this team contending, if not winning, the AFC East. I have expectations of this team winning 1, maybe even 2 playoff games next season, possibly getting us into the AFC. Like, those are my expectations going into next season. And all we can do is make those expectations higher the better we get this season. If we get that playoff experience for those young players, for the Cody Fords, for the Ed Olivers, for the guys, for the Devin Singletaries, then that's going to be nothing but good when it comes to next season when we get the same guys in the same situation. They'll have that experience. They'll know what to do. So again, guys, thank you for joining me on Believers Talk for this preview, going over my 3 keys to victory one more time. The first one, get the run game going. Again, Frank Gore averaging more than 6 yards per carry so far this season. The Miami Dolphins defense 31st against the rush. The second key to victory is Josh Allen. Don't do anything stupid, right? Don't do anything stupid. Don't beat yourself. Third key to victory, get to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Make him make bad decisions. We know he has capabilities of throwing 3 interceptions in a game. In 3 of his 5 starts against the Buffalo Bills, Ryan Fitzpatrick has 2 or more touchdowns. That can't happen in this game. We need to contain Ryan Fitzpatrick. We need to contain Kenyon Drake. Again, Kenyon Drake in 6 career starts, 3 of them over 90 all-purpose yards. We can't have that happen either. We need to contain both those guys, and we will win this game easily, in my opinion. Again, I think the score is going to be somewhere around 31-10, maybe 38-10. Hopefully, we see this offense take that step forward, even though it's against the 31st ranked defense. Hey, you play who's put in front of you. I want to see this offense play a full game, show our potential, and then watch this defense do what they do. So again, guys, thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. Again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Thank you, Myth. Hit that like button if you haven't already. I still call you Myth, even though I know it says King Cam now. Hit that like button if you haven't. I still believe the Bills are going to win the AFC East this year. Very possible. Very possible. We still play those Patriots. The Patriots have a little bit of a tougher schedule, depending on Mahomes' injury now, but they still play KC. They still play Houston. They still have a pretty tough. They still play Baltimore just like we do. Still have some pretty tough games coming up. So we'll see what happens to them. But we know that we control our own destiny. If we can beat the Patriots in Gillette Stadium, chances are we'll still have a pretty good shot at winning the AFC East. But again, guys, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy the second half of Thursday Night Football, if that's what you're watching. If not, you can go over to my friends over at the Sports Fury. They're giving you live play-by-play and commentary for that game as well. They give you every single NFL primetime game. So if you're not subscribed to them, subscribe to them as well. Good guys with Josh and Sean over there. If you go over there, say hi from Believers Talk. But yeah, they're a good group of guys. Always have fun. And again, if you haven't subscribed to #sports, they're good guys over there too, Mario and Paul. Look forward to hanging out with them next Sunday for the game against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be there Saturday as they're at the casino. They're at the autograph signing. I'll be there as well, or at least I hope to be there as long as the travel plans go okay. And I'll be there to give you guys some more Bills content and also hang out with Mario and Paul and hopefully hang out with some of you guys as well. We look forward to seeing you that weekend. I look forward to talking to you all soon. I'll probably be on here tomorrow giving you an injury update. Again, so far, here's what we know. We know Cody Ford's still in concussion protocol. We know Matt Milano is still nursing a hamstring injury. We know Mitch Morse will probably play. We know Devin Singletary is looking like he is probably a go. We know Tyan Secchi is probably a go. But I'll be back here live tomorrow, or maybe not live tomorrow. I'll be back here tomorrow to give you an injury update as I try to do every single Friday before a game. And then I will also be here Sunday for a live play-by-play reaction to the game between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. So make sure right here on Believers Talk, again, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share this video. Let people know we were here doing the preview of the game. If you're not watching this live, leave a comment below. Always happy to get back to you. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do,